Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 9, Episode 46. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, I've never known any fucking contestant get as much screen time when they've been booted off fucking Love Island, but Olivia, as the producer's little puppet, and I would say, Dave, you know what I'm going to say now? I'm going to be controversial. I think she's been a setup from the start. I think watching this and this final fucking throw of the Olivia show was just so fake bullshit. She loved the screen time. I don't think Maxwell said more than 2 fucking sentences in that whole thing, Dave. Olivia just took the center stage and it was like she was there and everyone's watching her. And I was just like, I think she was never going to win this. I actually think now that she's been a plant, Dave, and she'll never admit it. She can't. But I just think she's not a good actress, let's be honest. But the whole situation and everything has just felt so forced this last couple of weeks and all that the other day with Jesse. So when it comes to this bit, and I thought, we're going to get 15, 20 minutes of Olivia now, aren't we? And we did. And we got the Towie chat between her and Maxwell when he just nodded his head pretty much.
Sorry. It wasn't a chat. It was a monologue to Max.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. It could have been anybody, Dave. It could have been a mannequin or someone.
It could have been a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's a good answer. It could have been a mirror. And it was just like, why are they... I mean, I like the take on it, and we asked for something different, and we've got it. So I can't throw the producers under the bus on that. However, it's the fact that it's been the most infuriating contestant we've had this year for me personally was just enough. I was like, just go, please go, and you're going to milk the arse off who you're picking now, aren't you? So, I mean, sorry for ranting, Dave, but I was just like, I have had enough. I am so glad this girl is going.
I'm with you. The thing I'd ask, though, what would your definition of a plant actually be? Because I agree that, she's definitely been known to the producers. We've seen her on the, was it 2 or 3 seasons ago that she was in the background, wasn't she? Yep. She's fucking hanging around, clinging on to this arena. So, and she probably didn't even apply as such. She might have been scouted or just, a word with the producers or whatever. So, she's got on the show and she's got a lot of screen time, but a lot of that screen time doesn't really put her in a great light. She is a bit of a villain. So I'm just wondering what makes her a plant in your opinion, other than just a fucking great hand-picked contestant who fucking stirs up all the drama?
You've answered the question, Dave. There you go. She just handpicked to stir all the shit up, get on everyone's nerves, completely deluded, so it gets the audience and social media like, what world is this girl living on? And I think, well, if she isn't a plant, Dave, she needs to have a serious fucking look in the mirror. And not one where, as you've just said, she fucking talks to herself all day. Because she can't go through life being like that. I can't believe anybody. I mean, it's like Taylor on Maths, unbelievable contestant, but surely that has got to be a setup. She looks more like a plant actually than Olivia, but I'm sticking to it, Dave. She's just an utter bell end, and It's like, go away.
So I fall on the side of she's just a massive bell end, and she's handpicked. Now I would think a plant is to go in there with a brief. But I don't believe in these things. I refuse to believe that someone is going to sign up that they need to be and play up to this character for the rest of their fucking lives. Right? It's just not realistic. She's just a dick, and we've seen her be a dick. But definitely a producer darling, because, like you say, we probably won't ever see that again, where someone who's on the way out gets to choose who she's going to fucking take down with her, so, which is great. And I know I was saying, like, oh my God, if she took out, like, if she had the choice of everyone, and she managed to take out Kai and Jesse because of that little conflict that she had. She would basically be a Love Island legend, the greatest villain ever. But apparently, it was only from the bottom couples, wasn't it? So I do believe I called that one, Chris, and I do believe before the show. I saw this little message. Oh, I've just seen First Look, and my prediction is Claudia and Casey will get back together next week. Hashtag reality radar.
What, you said that, Dave? I don't remember this. I have amnesia. I'm sorry.
It's the old Tom. This. Oh, fucking hell, Casa Amor. I genuinely, I don't believe it. I don't remember it. Fucking Dr. Drake Ramore.
How fucking dare you say such a thing? I am absolutely wounded by that comment, David. I never get things wrong. But however, the fact that she did pick Claudia and Keenan made perfect sense. I just love the fucking fake sad faces, because they know everyone who will get booted out is thinking, shit, when did I piss Olivia off? When did obviously Claudia was sort of team Jesse, so I was thinking, well, he's probably going to be Claudia, but it would have been because they even commented Olivia said to Maxwell that what about Claudia and Casey? They could get back together, and I'm thinking, oh, hang on. And then my ears did prick up. I thought, wait a minute, is this one of my pin a tail on a donkey moments again, Dave, like Ekin-Su and Davide? But it didn't happen. And look, it's one of them things. Claudia's like, I'm glad to see me mum. Her and Keenan, there was nothing there. First thing he says is, I better go start cracking on then, and I was like, well, fair play.
I know. I was like, nothing likable about that bloke at all.
No, he's going to be in Wigan Pier by the end of this week. We've got Keenan from Love Island. Who? Keenan from Love Island. Still don't know him.
He's going to be doing the circuit, and he's going to be doing Wigan, Skem, St. Helens, Runcorn, Widnes. He's going to be doing the rounds, Chris, all around the northwest there. All the fucking rugby league towns.
but with Davy Brent and Howard from the Halifax adverts, Dave, you know what I mean?
What was that little? Oh, was that
Bubble from Big Brother.
Yeah. Bracknell.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that was the logical explanation, to be honest, that it had to go. And I did notice Jesse said straight away, I'm a lot calmer now Liv's not here. Now, obviously, we as the audience were shocked by that sort of 180 on Jesse. We've gone through it all, what we both think and everything. However, you've obviously hidden this bit of animosity between Jesse and Liv, haven't they, very well? Because us as the audience, unless other people, I'd not seen that, Dave, until the other day. So
I think that's all it was, though, wasn't it? I think it was just she was backstabbed. But again, for me, it highlighted Jessie knows she's wrong. When she's backing the girls, like especially on movie night, and she's backing them up because that's what came up. So it's not as if she's just got a blind spot for things that are wrong. She's just backing the girls no matter what. And so that's why I think she felt, betrayed by the whole Jessie's fake thing.
Yeah.
And she had a fair point in saying that, you're calling me fake for having a conversation with someone to their face, right? So she did have a point there. Where she didn't have a point was saying, well, people should just keep their nose out of it. And it's like, well, it's kind of where it all started. If you'd have kept your nose out of Jessie's business, none of that shit would have happened. But you know what, Chris? I have a confession.
Go on.
I have been, probably since week fucking 1, definitely since week 2, I have been wanting Olivia to fucking leave. She's despicable. She is horrible. She's the biggest fucking gaslighter in there. After she went, though, I was about another 10, 20 minutes in. I'm like, fucking hell, this is boring. And it did. A fleeting thought in my mind was, oh no, is that it now? Like all the, Jesse's calmer, everyone's calmer. is that it? There's going to be no drama anymore. So it was a fleeting thought, and I thought, no, she definitely had to go. It was brilliant. Kai couldn't hide his excitement, could he? The fact that she'd gone, it's like, thank fuck for that. But we did get a bit of drama from an unexpected source. I mean, the game, Chris, that we had, for me, was one of those things that you see on the unseen bits. It's like, oh, right, these guys actually having a bit of fun. And I did I think it was Will's team that came out with the snakes dance. I don't know if you've seen Dodgeball, but that's kind of what they were doing. They're bringing their hands up the way they were dancing and stuff there. I thought it was brilliant. But I must admit, before it even gets to the point of kicking off, I'm thinking, fucking hell, you're all taking it just a bit too seriously. I don't know whether you've got cabin fever or what, but, this ultimately a bit of nonsense. It's like, fucking, Jesse, he's put his hands on the egg. Fucking get VAR out. And it's like, come on, this is just a bit of nonsense. It's a fucking egg and spoon race, right? Wind your fucking necks in. But, I'm sort of thinking that just as a human being, but then I'm kind of appreciating the drama that spills out of it.
Yeah, and you know what, Dave? I have members of my family who act exactly the same when they get beat in games, Dave. You know what I'm talking about. So I can relate to Tom. Tom is an athlete. Obviously, he's not... he's semi-professional, but he's got that winning mentality. He's used to being in teams. He's used to trying to win at everything. And honestly, I used to play football. You always want to win on stuff, and you can get competitive. No problem with that. We all have that competitive edge, some more than others. I've only ever come across 2 or 3 people in my lifetime that are so competitive. They do not want to get beat at anything. And I mean anything. And Tom's reaction is just, I have been in so many family rows, Dave, where certain people have gone off because they've got beat, or someone's cheated, or the person who's so competitive cheats at the game. Just things like that. And I cannot understand it. I'm sort of like...
I fucking saw you take that Monopoly money.
Yeah, exactly. Put it back. Where's that £1,000 come from under the board? I remember having an almighty kickoff at a paintball game about 5 or 6 years ago. My brother-in-law was cheating. It was Sam's family against my family, and all this. And my family were pretty useless, Dave. Let's be honest. They were pretty useless. Sam's family are all like athletes, dead competitors. Even though it's paintball, they've got that we're going to win mentality. Anyway, brother-in-law cheats, Dave. Whacks off the paintball. I mean, he nearly had a proper full-on fisticuffs because he was just being a bellend, rubbing it in my face. And I don't get like that, but because I felt the injustice and he was cheating, I was like, right, let's go. And I'm like, right, we're going. And it's just afterwards, you're like, wow, Chris, I never do that. And I'm calling people out. And I'm like, I'd never done that before, but he was pissing me off. But so to see Tom do it, and then when they were goading him, and it started off funny, and I got what Ron was saying. I thought Ron was quite funny. He's like, look, we'll go and give him a hug. That's it. But Will is that annoying fucking Butlins rep who won't let it go, will it? And he's like, Will, it was great the first 5 times. We get it. Tom's face, he was fuming. He tells Sammy, but then Shaq comes over. But then it got to the point where Shaq sort of wanted the reaction, and it went from being really funny to being, lads, just leave it. And Tom kept saying it, didn't he? Like, just leave it. I think he overreacted. I'll be honest. It's like you say, it's a fucking egg and spoon race in the garden. I think Casey called it. But I did think they concentrated far too much on that. And it should have just been, it's done. That's it. Especially when someone like that is a bit of a slap arse like Tom was. But it was great to watch, Dave.
Yeah, it was. And I've seen people come out and call out either Shaq or Tom or Will. Will seemed to get off scot-free, really, but I thought he was initially the main ringleader. Now, I think Shaq maybe gets it because he was the last one stood there. Everyone had kind of drifted off, and he's still kind of laughing about it. And I know you've not watched the IT Crowd, but there's this brilliant episode where this guy basically goes on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he phones a friend, and they confidently give him the wrong answer, and he loses all this money and stuff. And they end up in this this restaurant with all kids running around and everything, and there's a clown that comes around, does balloon animals and stuff at your table, and he's like, "Oh, you're that guy from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?" Or they call it something else. And he literally, for I would probably say a minute, this clown is just pointing in his face and laughing. He's just like, and just pointing closer to his face. And sure enough, he does it for long enough, and then he beats the living shit out of him. So, but it was the same kind of thing. It was like, there is a point, when you just keep on poking the bear, eventually you're going to get a reaction. And the thing is, it's easier when you can see, like you say, when someone is a bit of a slaptass, when they're a fucking sore loser, and you just sort of lose yourself a bit, and you're going over the top, because that's what I see it as. Again, we often sort of talk about, we need to remind ourselves these are kids, really, aren't they? I guess to the law they're adults, but they're still very, very young and still kind of got a lot of immaturity about them. And I just thought it was that from all sides. And I think a curse on all their houses. They're all as bad as each other. But it was fucking great to see it off. But I'm not having that it was one person's fault over another person's fault. It was all just fucking ridiculous nonsense. And like you say, you could... I could point out some of the members that we're talking about there in real life who you just have to goad a little bit. I bet this guy's faster than you. The difference is, Chris, I'd probably do it and then just walk off smirking. I wouldn't stand there like, calm down, mate. So yeah, it was fucking brilliant, and I just love the fact that they did get a bite, and I can't wait to see the fallout from it.
No, I can't. He might be crossed straight away. And the last thing I think I've spotted from today's episode, Dave, was Tanya with Lana. The fakest conversation between these two. Oh, yeah, with the OGs, we're going to do it for Liv. Oh, fucking great. But apparently Tanya's in the bottom three, Dave, not because she's been a complete bellend, but because apparently the public think that Martin was more compatible with her than Shaq, Dave. But they're going to see. They will see when she comes out the villa, Dave, what she sees and what everyone else sees. And I'm thinking... Tanya, you've fucking not read the room here, my dear. So, yeah, I was one of them little off-the-cuff comments that made me laugh. I was like, you actually don't know what's going on in the outside world. I know they don't, but it was just silly. Sat there going, please don't speak anymore, Tanya.
You know what's interesting? That obviously there's no Twitter game this year, unless they bring it in really late, but I don't think it is. I think it's like this new duty of care stuff that ITV are going on about.
Yeah.
So... other than the vote, so you only see the outcome, you've got no context about what the public actually think. And I have never seen a group so fucking deluded as this. Now, with that conversation with Tanya, I just thought, well, if that was Olivia saying that, we'd say about how fake she was. We did, when she was saying about, oh, yeah, Kai's been in the bottom three times, so... But Tanya, you've said you loved him. Why does that even fucking matter? Why is it? And you see other couples, in the bottom three, whatever. I'm here for you, kind of thing. But for me, it just showed how fake Tanya was, to be honest. And I think that outcome, because she was sat with Tom as well when Shaq was goading him. And she was basically telling Shaq to fuck off as well. But I think she was doing that with that kind of result in the back of her mind. So, again, what are we going to see here? Are these actually going to make it to the end? Or is this, is Tanya maybe thinking, you know what, I may not make top three if I carry on with Shaq? If they think Martin was my better fit or whatever, or I don't know. It's just, I didn't like it, if I'm honest.
No. And I did, like you say, it's sort of revealed behind the curtain what she's thinking as well. But we'll see, Dave. We'll see. And again, we've got a little preview of tomorrow's episode, and it looks like there's a bit of truth game, Dave, because Shaq says something about Ron and Lana, about Ron recoupling with her because of Casey. It's almost like he's been watching the show with us all, David. So Ron's like, I've got no fucking comment. All right, mate, that's fine, no problem. But I am here for that one, David, definitely.
Yeah, he does need to be a little bit careful, Shaq, doesn't he? We gave him lots of credit when he was calling people out early doors. But, it is a few weeks, and it's post-Casa Amor with Ron. So I don't know, maybe that is some sort of Twitter game. Or,
yeah.
Maybe it's not necessarily coming up within the group. Maybe it's coming from outside. But for me, that should have just been put to bed now. Ron and Lana have been together, like I say, post-Casa Amor, so shouldn't even be a thing, really.
I agree. And we're going into last week, Dave. Finally! Fucking finally, Dave. So you are correct. Anyway, Dave, just before we go, we've got one email and it's from Helen and it's a quick one and she's put, OGs. Hi, Chris and Dave. Is this the fewest number of OG girls we've ever had left in a final week? Just Lana and Tanya now versus Ron, Kai, Will, Shaq and Tom. Tom was obviously a day one bombshell. I can barely even remember who the other OG girls were now. Cheers, Helen. So I know Tanyelle was one, wasn't she? But I think Zara came in. She was a bombshell, wasn't she? She came in with Tom. But yeah, I've never even thought of that. I don't know what the stats are, whether that even happened. So yeah, interesting observation.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like you do get a bit of a cycle. So you're always in a much better position as an OG, aren't you?
Yes.
You do have an advantage there. But I don't think it's set in stone that like all of the OGs make it to the end. I do think you get a bit of a cycle. You get sort of 2 or 3 go in. So, I mean, let's face it, Chris, they all fucking deserved it. No one has gone. Although, I mean, you could argue, you've mentioned Zara there. I thought because that whole conflict with Olivia and the fact that the group basically sided with Olivia, I think maybe you could say she could feel a bit hard done by. But no, it's just, for me, it's just the natural churn that you get with this show.
Yeah, I think so. Tanyelle was the one. We've had contestants like Tanyelle loads of times. Very popular, but just couldn't find the right man and then had to go. So, yeah, fair enough. Right, so anyway.
But she didn't even fucking try, really, did she?
Not really. Ron was the one, Dave, but it was a friend island. But there you go. Yeah. Anyway, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. Follow and follow us on social media @cdrealitycast. And as always, Chris and Dave's Reality TV cast over on Facebook, guys. Come and join us there. Big thanks to Charlene again for moderating the page for us. And get involved in the chat. It's been good fun talking to everyone and having a good laugh about all this reality nonsense. And if you do want to support us a little bit more, get over to patreon.com/CD Realitycast. So today's roll call of honour is Helen, Alex, Macy, Nicholas, Schmave, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee, Susan, Hennessy, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, guys, for your support. Amazing as always. So, Mr. Horrocks, we're nearly there. We're nearly in the final week. You can stop actually stabbing the Chris Phelps voodoo doll. There is no need to be that aggressive as we go into our final
slightly less of a reason. You know what? I tell you what, if we were fucking as bad at taking a joke as Tom, we'd be fucked. Wouldn't we?
Yeah, no, we wouldn't.
It would have been a very short podcast back in the day, but
we'd have been gone, wouldn't we? We'd probably have blocked each other by now, Dave. That was the case.
Oh my God. So into tomorrow night, last one of this week, and then into the final stretch. In fact, I think the final is probably the week after, isn't it? So slightly over a week, but almost there, Chris. Almost there.
We are. So have a good couple of days, and I will speak to you soon.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.